Hello, 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 and welcome to Game 2 of the 3-game set from the North American BlizzCon Invitational between our two players, LiquidHuK and EGIdrA, who are now actually teammates, but just for nostalgic purposes, we're going back and showing some games before those days. So down here in the bottom right on Shakuris Plateau, I believe it's MLG Shakuris Plateau, so you cannot bunker off the ramps over here. There is something that denies that, but down here in the bottom right on Shakuris Plateau, we have the winner of Game 1, LiquidHuK. And in the top left position, we have the loser of Game 1, obviously, as there can only be one winner and loser, but he still has a chance to pull back in this next game and take it to a Game 3. We have EGIdrA. And it looks like Huck decides to build his first pylon down here near the ramp, so it looks like he's going to be doing some early expansion. I would assume, since it is Shakuris Plateau, he's going to be doing a forge fast expand, or a forge, or just a fast forge, or forge first build. And EGIdrA is doing nothing out of the norm right now, so we're just gonna. And these two players, like I talked about in Game 1, their rivalry has been very entertaining to watch. So, the rivalry has been very entertaining to keep up with, like the MLG Dallas 2011 shenanigans with the hallucinated void rays, and there goes down EGIdra's pool on 15, so he's not going to do any type of extremely fast expanding action. But with the hallucinated void rays going on in MLG Dallas, and the bad manners between these two players, and it actually looks like, okay, there's the fast expansion. I was thinking that that he might have done a he might go for more of a Blinkstalker play. Oh, but there goes the forge. So he's going to do a Nexus first and then a forge, and then he puts that down. But if you noticed before when I came back to this camera, because I saw this probe coming down here, I clicked on it and you saw the rally point. He rallied to a mineral patch and then rallied over here in the middle. And there goes down EGIdra's expansion. Actually, it went down about 46 seconds ago. But he rallied his probe here and then into the middle as his one probe came over here to this expansion to check it. That's so that if he needs to, instead of doing a fast expansion, he can put down this forge first, so that just in case there is a 6 pool coming, then it actually takes too long to send a probe from here to here after scouting a 6 pool. If the probe is already here, you still may have a chance of defending it. It's one thing that I actually learned from a Day 9 Daily on, I believe it was Huck's Blinkstalker PVZ. And here goes Idra saturating his natural expansion. And still nothing out of the norm going on except for a Nexus first, which on Shakuris Plateau it's not that bad because it's such a large map, and when you have two players on opposite sides, ooh, and Idra decides to go for the fast third expansion. That is one thing about Shakuris Plateau that I enjoy as we look, and he does know about Huck's expansion here and the mining, and that it's done. But that is one thing I enjoy about Shakuris Plateau. It is more oriented for longer macro games than it is for fast rushes and pushes that'll end the game quickly. Unless you have extremely fast units and it's a ZVZ. Then those sometimes try to end early, but sometimes those can even go into the very late stages of the game. And Huck does know about this expansion of Idra's over here, this third expansion. And it doesn't look like Huck knows anything about no, doesn't look like Idra knows anything about Huck except for this expansion here. But really there's not much to know about the main if that's where he's going, except a pylon. And it looks like Idra is starting to even saturate this third expansion. And here goes down a macro hatch, so IGIdrA is ready for an extremely long or not extremely long, but a long macro game, as he can see by HuK's fast expansion. So this cybernetics core, the warp gate research is about half done, and what is going on back here? Okay, it's 2 gateways. He just decides to put them in the back, and he decides to throw down double gas and get a 4th gateway. So either he's going to try and rush soon by hiding these 2 gateways back here, and then making, okay, that's another assimilator, making 2 more gateways. So that's going to make it 6 gateways. Unless he's going to do a 6-gate rush, which it's not exactly a rush, but a very large 6-gate push. He's just also ready for a large macro game. And a push like that might actually not do so hot against what IGIdrA has right now, because right now he has 6 Zerglings running around the map, 7 Zerglings right there. He has the Overlord. The Overlord, what does the Overlord see? He does see these 2 gateways back here, but those are the only 2 gateways he sees. He does have these 6 Zerglings here, so he's probably going to see these 2 gateways right here, but he does see these units here, so he knows he must have more than 3 gateways, because he would assume that there's one in the front. He has Spore Crawlers just in case of anti-air, and the Roach Warren is almost completed. So at the and it looks like, okay, so he had a pylon on the low ground where and then he built this on top, so he had to repower the gateway that he unpowered by destroying this pylon down here, as he researches the +1 upgrades and makes another cannon somewhere. Oh, at his the 3rd that he has decided to take. So he is ready for a longer macro game, while IGIdrA is just now finishing up with his lair at his base, and speed is now done on these Zerglings, so their movement across the map has just increased by so much. Oh, and here comes these Zerglings. We're going to see an engagement here, but oh, they got split up, and not a lot of damage was done. I don't think really any damage was done by EGIdrA with that little speedling, with the speedlings there. And look how fast they are on creep. One big thing about protecting this 3rd expansion will be expanding the creep over there, even though those speedlings are so fast off creep. So as ground weapons 1 is almost done, he warps in 3 more stalkers. Oh, and there's some Zerglings at the front. He's going to cut them off right here, and it looks like the Zerglings are just going to get obliterated. But 4 roaches out for IGIdrA. And a robotics bay is almost done for. A robotics bay is now done, and also a Twilight Council is now done, and +1 ground armor is almost being finished. And it looks like he is building another forge somewhere so that he can double his upgrades. He's building another forge right there so he can double his upgrades, but there is a bunch of roaches out on the playing field. How many roaches do we have here? Is that a hive? That is a hive for IGIdrA. I did not even see the infestation pit go down. Looks like he decides to get some immortals to take care of these roaches even better than stalkers do. But right now he has 28 roaches out on the playing field versus IGIdRA's 18 stalkers, 3 zealots, and 4 sentries. So at the moment, and he's also getting a spire and 2 infestors. So it looks like he's either going to be going with a lot of infestors, but also some broodlords because of the hive. So we'll see if he transforms this hive into a greater spire once this, or no, we'll see if he turns the spire into